guys, so today I've got a makeup tutorial and this is my winter slash spring transition look, and I'm using some palettes from Sleek and MAC. So let's go. So first is foundation, and I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour matte foundation. Now that the weather is getting warmer, my face is getting a little oilier, so I'm using a matte foundation to give it more of a nice flawless blend. And I'm dotting that on my face and using the Sigma round kabuki brush to blend that in. I'm using this instead of the sponge because I find it that certain foundations, especially if it's thick, it's better if you use a brush to blend. Once that's done, I'm going through with my trusty MAC concealer, Studio Finish Concealer, to dot any of the extra dark spots. Next is concealer for under the eyes, so I'm using the Rimmel London Wake Me Up Anti-Fatigue Effect and Radiant Glow Concealer. So I'm applying a triangle under my eyes to cover up any of the bags, and because this I find that the consistency is a bit thick, I'm also going through with a beauty blender and spraying a bit of mineralized water just to give it a nice blend and more of a dewy effect. So next is contouring and highlighting. So I'm using the Sleek Makeup Palette. This is the Face Form Contouring and Blush Palette in Fair. Since I've used the matte foundation to reduce the oils on my face, I do want to achieve a nice glow. And this palette I find has been really good to achieve this effect, especially on my skin color. So I'm using the bronzer color on this to contour my face, just to give my face a little bit of dimension. Because unfortunately, I have a really flat face. So I'm using this to contour my cheeks, my jaws, nose, and forehead as well. Once that's done, I'm going to use the strobing technique to highlight my face. Now that the weather is getting warmer, I want to achieve more of a nice natural glow. And to do that, I'm using the highlighting shadow in the palette. And I'm going to apply that to anywhere where the light will reflect off my face. So that includes my under eyes, the top of my cheeks, as well as my nose, forehead, as well as my brow bone, my top lip, and my chin as well. The chin is depending on how, I guess, long you want your chin. Because mine is fairly flat, I'm going to apply a lot there. Also keep in mind that when light hits your face, it hits it from one direction. So you want to have your highlighting done fairly close together in one direction. Otherwise, you'll look like a disco ball. P.S. On a side note, am I the only one that finds the word strobing uncomfortable? Like, I find it more uncomfortable than saying moist. But anyways, that's just me. So once I'm done glowing, I'm then going to use the blush palette in the kit to apply on my cheeks. I find that this is really nice and subtle, so it looks natural and it blends really well with the highlighting shade as well as the contouring shade as well. So now moving on to the brows, I'm using the Benefit Gimme Brow in Medium Deep. I want to give it more of a natural look, so I'm not going to reshape my brows. I'm just using this to purely fill it in to make it more fuller. And because I want to try and make it look natural, and this is slightly darker, I'm going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Tinted Brow Gel in Brunette, just to soften that a bit so it blends in with my hair color. And then once that's done, I'm then going to prep my eyelids with the Too Faced Shadow Insurance so I can apply eyeshadow on. So for eyeshadows, I'm using this Sleek makeup palette. This is the Eye Divine mineral based eyeshadow palette in Au Naturel 601. So I'm using the third color from the bottom row. Unfortunately, they don't have names on it. So this is like a nice kind of taupe grey color, and I'm just using this in my eye socket to create a more deeper crease. Now I'm going to use a different palette. This is a Sleek Makeup Blush by 3 palette, and I'm using the color Croquet, I believe, which is the orange on the far right, not the middle. And I'm going to apply that to the top of my crease, so the one that I've just created, and also apply that on my eyelids as well. I'm just doing this to give it a nice pop of color for spring. On a side note, I really like the Face Form Contouring and Blush Palette by Sleek, but I found it that their Eye Divine palette and their blush palette wasn't really pigmented, and I had to apply it a couple of times to really achieve the vibrant color, and it appeared a bit powdery as well, that powdery finish, especially the matte colors. So now I'm going back to the eyeshadow palette. I'm using the top right champagne shimmer color just to apply it to the corner of my eye so my eyes appear brighter. I'm then going through and using the first color on the bottom left, which is like a purpley kind of dark plum color, shimmer color, and just applying that to the end of my eyes, which doesn't look like it did a lot anyways. And then moving on, I'm using the next color, which is kind of like a greeny kind of khaki color, and applying that to the lids of my eyes. But the more I was applying, it didn't really seem like it was doing anything, so I gave up and started using this matte palette. This is the MAC Amber Times 9 Set eyeshadow palette, and I'm using the middle one, which is called Creative Copper. And when I applied that on my eyelids in the middle, it was completely different to the sleek one, and it just applied on straight away, and it's so pigmented. So I do really like the matte one. And I'm also then going ahead and using Pepper Please and just blending that to the corner of my eyes just to give it a smoky effect, as well as using Aromatic and applying that to the bottom of my eyes as well. Moving on to eyeliner, I'm using the Benefit Their Real Push-Up Liner, and this one actually has a rubber tip. So the tip to this is squeezing the end of it to remove any excess liner and then applying that on the eye. It just makes it more even. And for my lashes, I'm using this L'Oreal Paris Telescopic Mascara, which was recommended by a viewer. And this gives you extra length, which is really nice because it's not clumpy and not messy at all to apply. And it also works really well with your lower lashes. Of course, I also applied some falsies as well just to give me extra length. Moving on to my lips, I'm using this MAC lip pencil in Whirl to make my lips more even and fuller as well. So this is the only, I guess, feature that I want to make it more defined. And I'm also then using the MAC lipstick in the Satin Del Rio just to fill it in as well to give it a nice pop of colour. And then that's it. That is my final look. I'm calling it winter meets spring / transition. And I hope you like it. If you do, please give me a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to watch more videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.